Sorry. Yo, just get into it. Caught damn by surprise right there. What it is, boys. Back into it. It's Degen Fantasy. Listen, a little bit late on the stream, but listen, we was plotting, we was scheming in the background, figuring out how to get these picks going for the evening. Dan, you seem very happy. You seem like you've had a phenomenal day, like phenomenal. Like you're
super
glowing.
phenomenal. Didn't fucking go to work today. Feel like absolute dog shit. I'm here just to gloat, really. When it really comes down to it, and we'll get into it a little bit later, I am NASCAR. I might be the best NASCAR fucking better on the planet. And that's okay. You know, some people are really good at this and some people are bad. I'm on the good side, really. So, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll be able to show some recaps of it. So money wise, Dan, you know, I've been rocking with Bovada. You know, you're too good, and I know a lot of books get scared. So like what's going on with your bankroll right now?
So, got a fucking nice little message. I don't know how many people are on with us right now, but if you could go to Bovada's Twitter and let them know that they're pieces of shit for shutting me the fuck down, I would be in debt to you. Here's the thing. Yesterday, I got a fucking, I'm watching the race. I'm checking the bets. We got, looking at a 3-0 day. What I told you would happen with Alexander fucking Bowman is exactly what fucking happened. So I should only kick myself in the ass for that. I was looking at a 3-0 day until Bowman remembered that he's a piece of shit driver and he decided to fucking lose by 2 spots. So thanks for that, Bowman. Really hope you fall down the stairs and break your head today. You deserve it. You're a piece of shit. Now, I get a nice little thank you for that. Thanks for popping that up. Look at those plus 190 odds. Listen, I'm not going to say I'm the GOAT, but I'm going to say I'm the GOAT right now. Thank you. I appreciate it for you guys agreeing. So here's what happens. I get a nice email from Bovada. Your account is under investigation, and your account is disabled until our investigation's over. Listen, it couldn't come at a better time, really. I was beating the fuck out of Bovada. I was really like, I had their head in a door, and I'm just slamming the motherfucker into it. I withdrew like 3 times in the past week and a half. So, yeah, Bovada's a little salty about it, and I get it. I understand. I understand losing is not your favorite thing. Winning happens to be my favorite thing. I don't really know much about losing, and I don't plan to. So, Bovada shuts me down. I get on the fucking horn with customer service, have my customer service rep, Leanne, who I deal with, talk to her. I'm like, what the fuck's going on with my account? Hey, your account's under investigation. I'm like, oh, so you guys got your heads bashed in and now you don't want me to fucking withdraw? Is that how we're doing things? I get it. I understand. Luckily for me, North Carolina's going live in just about a week. So we'll be fine. We'll get over it. I had about $1,300 in this account. Not happy that I'm going to have to probably get dicked out of that. But you know what? Here's what I'm going to say for the stream for everybody else. Fuck Costa Rica. Hope the place blows up. Bovada headquarters. I hope you're involved. I'm real salty, real pissed off, real butthurt about this.
After they see this, you're done.
Suck my dick, Bovada. Fuck you, motherfuckers. Anyways, that's it.
Yeah, so and on the flip side of it, Bovada's been pretty kind to me. You know, I get phone calls fairly frequently asking how my betting experience is going, and that's it. I personally did not believe Dan when he'd say, like, when you beat down a book and you really start profiting off of them, they'll start to limit you and they'll start to cut you out as much as they can, which I didn't realize until the first time I started really hitting on hockey shots, parlays, and bets. I was getting like messages saying that like my bets were limited, and it wasn't because they were like crazy odds, but like I would try to parlay hockey shots together, and when I'm hitting, they're like, yeah, listen, we're gonna slow down how much you can bet on these. So I didn't realize that. There's been weeks where I've been calling picks, throwing them on TikTok, and like a couple times I wasn't able to exactly place the parlay I wanted because of my limitations, and those were hitting anyway. And then also, yeah, you start hitting well in a book and they're just like, hey, what are they investigating? They're like, is he work for the NBA? Does he work for is he in the pits calling the race? What are they going to investigate? You're making smart bets.
there is what they're investigating is why they're getting the shit kicked out of them right now, and I understand it. Like I do get it. Like as a bookie, your goal is not to give people money. Like that's the whole goal of the situation. Your goal is just to take it. So I get what they're trying to do right now. It's not going to be successful. I mean, take the money all you want. I'm just going to hammer as soon as my account's available again. Hopefully, I'll be able to take that money out and not deal with Bovada ever again. But does fucking suck. I was on a bit of a fucking run, as you guys saw. NASCAR has always been good to me. It'll always remain good to me. I got the fucking edge there, buddy. I got the fucking edge. So
yeah, with NASCAR, it's something that like I'm tailing. Also, I'm just adding someone real quick so they can hop in the stream. I'm tailing you and watching live, and even ones that I don't tail, I'm like, damn. I'm like, dude, the matchups that you target and that you talk about are pretty, it's something that like you were talking about, and Brian, we had on talking about how the books don't really know how to call them and how to cover them and how to set these lines necessarily, especially between matchups with drivers. And then talking about like the two brothers, that there was an error because they thought one of the brothers was one of the other brothers, and Brian came up and threw, he sniped the shit out of it. And was like, let me throw 100, actually make that 5, and totally came up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool options if you guys really pay attention to your books, and if you're in a state where betting is not exactly maybe it's legal, but also it's not like authorized for certain types of tax reasons, whatever the case may be. With those books, you can really get into finding what works for you, and Bovada's worked for me personally from Dan's perspective, and his layup to me for that one. So, but break it down. So he went really well on the NASCAR picks. We showed those last streams, so if you tailed, you're up. And as well as, let me recap what happened last week with hockey. So we bumped into hockey shots looking like this. So we had Ricard Raquel, Genny Malkin, Matt Boldy, Dylan Gunther, and Nico Heischer. And Dan was like, these are players I haven't really seen you talk about before. And because usually on my hockey shots, I stay to like the players that I like. But do I have the corrections on here? No, this is not the corrections. I don't think I had them in, actually. Did I? Okay, well, I'm just going to tell you what hit. Because I don't, for some reason, it's not on here. I can upload it from my computer though. So Gunther had, where are those my picks for tonight? Gunther had, I think he had 5 shots in the first period. Absolutely went off. Great fucking game. That hit with ease in the first period. A no sweat bet right there, like they try to tell you in the advertisements. And Nico Heischer, Dan's like, I don't even know who Nico Heischer is.
Didn't even know who he was.
Nico Heischer is a great young talent, and if you really look at that Devils team, there's a lot of money making opportunities, especially if you target matchups. And I kind of went off my trend here. I was betting on righties for a majority of the night, and a majority of the fucking season I've been making all my money off of. And Nico Heischer, a lefty, absolutely cleaned up. Dan, did you watch any of the Penguins game? Because I caught the first 5 minutes of it and immediately shut it off as a Penguins fan because it fucking sucked. Do you know the score?
It was 6-1, I think, is what I saw. You guys got your heads beat a little bit there, buddy. Edmonton's like a fucking a train this year, buddy. I don't know, man. So we got 3-2 ain't bad. I know Rocky likes to go undefeated, but the way I look at it, you win 3 out of 5. That's a winning night. I don't give a fuck what happens after that. It's a winning goddamn night.
I came back to Dan and I was like, it was a rough night. We missed 2 legs.
Yeah, that's what he says. Oh, rough fucking night. I only hit 66% of my bets. Oh, God, that's fucking horrible. Suck a fucking... Listen to me. This is a great fucking night. It's not the best night we've ever had, but it is a good fucking night because you're up. And you had plus odds, I believe, on Gunther and close to plus odds with Heischer. Mm-hmm. You're sniping as always. You're building fucking shit. You got a model in your head. This kid's firing on all cylinders. He's a little shook right now because the parlays aren't fucking hitting because he's not betting singles like he should, like his father doubled down taught him. And eventually he'll get back to it and he'll be like, "Oh, Dan, I forgot. You're the man. You're my dad. You know what I mean? You're just trying to help me through this."
It's one of those stretches where so Dan was saying straight bets is how you win. Straight bets is how you win. So like I'm building bankroll with straight bets. And then like as I have straight bets hitting, I'm like, parlays are also hitting. So like I get into stretches where like as soon as I start hitting on all these parlays, I kind of ease back on the straight bets is where I fuck up.
Yep.
But at the same time, I've always been profitable. So he's I'm a younger dude, and Dan's not lying when he's like, hey, listen, when you're hot, you gotta reel back, you gotta engage and reel back, you gotta engage and reel back. So we got some straights played for tonight. Getting into tonight, to slow down here a minute because I'm talking a mile a minute. this is what we got. We got 6 players, and I'm gonna explain some of these matchups and why I like it. I've been taking Bedard over all season. Young, first overall pick in the draft. Talented young kid. I was at his first NHL game ever, just like I was at Sid's. And right-handed player, been targeting righties. They shoot the puck more. But this matchup, I watched him against Colorado. It was this past week, and he looked like, I explained it to Dan, as in like he was in a blur. Like they play such a fast game over in Colorado. I think this is in Colorado. You got the fucking his first time getting used to the altitude. And it's like when you're breathing heavy and you're playing a team that's quick, it just feels like whew, everything's just moving fast. And that's kind of, it looked like the moment got to him a little bit. So I'm taking him under here again tonight. I'm surprised his line didn't come down basically after a game like that, even though he's a great young kid and I enjoy watching him. I'm taking his under tonight. And also real quick, while I'm on it, anytime the Penguins play a top team like Edmonton or anything like that, New York, take Malkin's under because he's up there in age and he's not on the Sid level. He's looking gassed a lot lately. So take Gino's under whenever you can.
All right, let me hop in real quick.
Take it.
What's your favorite bet of the night here? Give me the favorite one.
Honestly, Bedard under is my favorite.
Gotta love that. What's your favorite over on the board?
Over. I'm big. I got to choose between Panarin against Florida or Willie versus Columbus. Because I switched from Marchessault to Willie, and Willie's been playing hot lately. Marsh actually hit over the other night as well. So I wouldn't be mad if you guys take either William Karlsson or Jonathan Marchessault over tonight. But yeah, I'd probably say Panarin. Panarin being at 3, his numbers are nice.
And and the way we look at it, Panarin is the top of the top when it comes to somebody that shoots from everywhere on the fucking ice. When he could get a fucking shot off, this guy's taking a goddamn shot.
Yep.
Artemi.
Artemi.
This motherfucking Russian, he shoots, baby. This guy's shooting. This guy's shooting for Putin, baby. Give him the fucking puck. Let him fucking shoot it. We love Artemi. We love, and if you're on Bovada, which, obviously one of us is, one of us isn't, nice, good day. Evan Rodriguez. I swear to fucking God, don't you ever, you mother, how dare you? You know what? Stream's over. Fucking call it. Evan Rodriguez is 1.5 on Bovada right now. I know Evan a little bit from his time in Buffalo. I think him and his friend are big pieces of shit, and I genuinely hope they have terrible careers.
Him and his friend?
Worked out for him and his friend Jack. Eichel brought Rodriguez to Buffalo because he wanted to feel at home because he missed his teddy bear, and I get it. I understand. Now Evan's on his own in Florida, and every time I look at a Florida shot line, Evan Rodriguez has got like 5 shots. So I think this is money in the goddamn bank. The Rangers let a lot of shots up. I think it's going to be a frenetic game. I think they both have to get up and down the ice. Lafreniere, Rodriguez, think are really good plays tonight. I'm always against playing a defenseman for shots just because they usually come from one of 2 places, and that's fucking those shots are going to be few and far between. But 2 for Pietrangelo, I feel like is pretty solid. I got to agree with the Panarin pick. I'm surprised to see the Bedard fucking fade here. That's a little scary for me because I feel like this guy just shoots, and that's what he does. So, I think these are great picks as always. We gave you the best on the board here. I don't know. I think you guys got to lock these in as soon as you possibly can. I'm just going to say it right now. We are the best NASCAR and hockey betting podcast on the planet. Stream, whatever the fuck you guys want to call it. And I think we probably rival most people with our NFL props. So,
our
again,
NFL
like we told you guys before, we cover all the sports. We cover all aspects of sports. But what we do is we give you solid fucking well-researched picks. And that's how we fucking stay in the game here. That's why, Bovada, you can shut me down. I'll be popping up back with some other sports book and I'll be fucking fine. So we got this. Lock these fucking in tonight. Rocky's about to go on a heater. I can feel it. He's a little reserved right now. He's humble. But you know what he is?
That's
when he gets a little humbled, he gets hungry. So Rocky's he's hungry right now. He's got nothing in the fridge. There's no space heaters going on. It's cold in that house, baby. He can't afford the space heaters right now, and that's okay. because this is when he comes through with this fucking edge. So why don't you
You know,
go ahead and lock these in and just win with us?
Dan, listen, when my fridge is empty,
Oh,
I head over to the fridge. Nothing,
oh,
no bev, no
nothing,
dine, no takeout, no
nothing.
leftovers. You know what's in that fridge, Dan? You
Bunch
pop
of
open the
butter.
little holder, grab
Bunch of
the one
fucking
thing in
butter.
there. It's a stick of butter. And you know
God
what?
damn right.
When you want to be reserved, you listen. You don't go over to the stove with you don't unwrap it and drop it. You take a little butter knife like you're eating an apple and you just clip a little
Yep.
piece off. Just drop it in and listen, you put that stove on a nice medium heat so it's not like
Ooh.
it's like just a nice
Nice.
little, and it slowly melts.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then when we start hitting, I drop that big fucking steak in there, baby. That's what I do.
Listen,
Okay?
if you're going to be a pussy, don't put these bets in. If you're going to be a nice guy, you're going to be a classy guy, put these bets in. Take your girl out for a nice dinner after they hit. Bang, bang.
Switching and segueing into the NBA. Here were our picks the other night for the NBA. And it was like we were talking about how it was a weird slate. These weren't picks that we locked in because it was obviously too many to lock in. I'm not locking in every fucking game, but this is what I was looking at. And I took the Hornets against the Raptors in a spot that I thought they'd be nice in. And this was probably where the night didn't really go as well. I probably only bet on the Celtics and the Mavs, and the Mavs kind of bit me in the ass. I don't know how they lost that fucking game to the Sixers.
Me either.
Weird spot. But tonight, segueing, looking at a lighter slate again. I like the Thunder against the Lakers. Lakers have been hot. LeBron James just hit 40,000 points, which, we can get into we've never gotten into the GOAT debate on this podcast. Maybe we can get into it a little bit
Michael
later.
Jordan.
We'll talk about it. And listen, I agree, but I also want to talk about it because one of us needs to be Stephen A. One of us needs to be Max Kellerman.
Fine, I'll run either side. That doesn't.
I'll be Max Kellerman.
Okay, that's good.
Kings, Bulls. Bulls been playing well, but they've had a lot of games in the last week. I'm taking the Kings. Clippers, Bucks. Bucks have blown out shitty teams. Have struggled against good teams. I'm taking the Clippers. Yep. Timberwolves, Trailblazers. If the Trailblazers beat the Timberwolves, I'll jump off cliff. The Jazz and the Wizards. Jazz need to get right game. It's tonight. They need to get a fucking win in that column before they're in the locker room getting fucking water bottles chucked at their foreheads. Nets, Grizz, same situation. Nets need a get right game. Grizz are banged up. They got suspension problems. Nets got to come out and ball. So that's what I'm looking at. Nothing really to overlook at. But listen, I'm most confident in hockey shots tonight. Lafreniere has not missed in any of his last 5 games. William Karlsson's 3 out of his last 5. Panarin missed his last game, hit the last 2 before, and then missed before that. This is a great matchup. We talked a lot about right-handed players that are shot creators compared to people that get fed. Panarin's a type of player that you feed. So, he's sitting there waiting, but he's their number 1 option. So they're feeding him on the power play. I'm looking at a shot chart on his shot locations from the map of the ice. The left side, his left wing, his right stick is on the right. Is literally, so if you're right-handed on the left wing, the face of your stick is in the middle of the ice, which means it's at the front of the net. If you're a right-handed player on the right side, that means it's closer to the wall and your stick is not in front of the net. Being a right-handed player on the left wing, if that made sense, is a great advantage. Not a lot of players stack on the off wing like Panarin does. Great spot for him. I really like it. And so one thing I want to talk about news-wise, getting into some football, because like you said, we were really smacking football, and that was one of my favorite things to call picks on with you with football, because being able to recap those and predict and place bets for those shows was so much fun. So with Russell Wilson officially being kicked out of the Denver Broncos organization, I want to ask you, so what's the play here? Because who's their backup? I don't know, which you probably know. 2, where's their draft spot? 3, are they trying to move up? Are they taking a QB in the first round? What's the deal?
Yeah, I would say that they'll probably draft the 4th best quarterback on the board. They're 12th, I believe. But Jarrett Stidham right now is the backup to Russell Wilson, so he's basically taken over the top spot. I don't think he's great. He's not bad, but he's not the future. I would assume that they'll draft it. They've been linked to J.J. McCarthy. Good luck with that guy. I don't think that's a great pickup, but good fucking luck. I think he reminds me a lot of Zach Wilson. I think he's probably going to be really bad. So Jarrett Stidham, and they'll probably get a rookie, but the Broncos are taking an $85 million cap hit with this. They're going to be fucked. Like they hate Russell Wilson so much that they're willing to cut him and take an $85 million dead cap hit. That means Russell Wilson's going to get $39 million from the Broncos next season. So any team could sign him for $1 million and he's still making $40 million next year. So no matter where he goes, they're going to pay him $39 million. So if you're in Atlanta, if you're a team that's kind of in between but have the pieces to make a playoff run, $1 million for a quarterback that could in a dome would probably be a better setting for him. I think that might be the way to go, man.
Speaking of, I know we went over some mock draft left show, but I got to show you what the big news is talking about the NFL mock drafts and where they're changing. So I want to hear about you think about this. Okay. Number 1 pick right here, Caleb Williams. You're not surprised by that, right? Well, whatever the case may be. Okay. He can go 1, 2, or 3.
Surprised, no.
Okay.
Not surprised, no.
All right. What about this pick right here? Jaden Daniels.
Not surprised. I think Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in this draft.
No, I totally agree. And then you may have seen it on the side screen. What do you think about this?
I love it. I can't. Listen, if there's a God, J.J. McCarthy goes to New England, and he's a worse Mac Jones. And I can't wait for Buffalo to eat him alive. He can't fucking play. He threw for 200 yards like 3 times last year, and they play some shitty fucking teams. Good luck, New England. I will laugh. I can't wait to post that TikTok when I'm laughing in every New England Patriots fan's face. Hey, you had your run. It's over now. Good luck with J.J. McCarthy. Good Lord.
Yeah, so that's the news. So the reason why McCarthy's going 3 is because there's something going on with the Vikings trading up because they want Drake May. They traded up to the number 5 pick from the Chargers, which is a power move for them.
I think it's stupid. I don't think Drake May is the best. I'm on record here. I think it goes Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix, Bo Nix. I think those are they played in pro style offenses in college. Caleb Williams did not. Drake May did fucking not whatsoever. Those are college systems. JJ McCarthy wasn't even allowed to throw the ball more than 6 times in a win against Penn State. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Timeout. Let me ask you a question. Let me close this out for a second. Hold on. We watched films, right? We watched Caleb Williams, we watched Jaden Daniels, and we watched Mike May, right? So
Drake May.
What's one of the things Drake May, my bad. What's one of the things you saw when you were watching Jaden Daniels that you were like, damn, he looks what was the word? He looks
What do you mean?
Do you think he looks short?
Yeah, he looks a little short, but I think more comparable because he's fast twitch and because he has the athleticism. I'm not worried about him throwing over the line. Like with Bryce Young, he can't throw the ball over the middle of the field because he's so short and he's not athletic enough to get outside of the pocket. I don't think you worry about that with Jaden Daniels. I think he can get out and he has a pro-style arm. This kid can fucking throw the fucking ball.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, follow-up question. Okay, how tall do you think Caleb Williams is?
6'1".
Okay, how tall do you think Jaden Daniels is?
Like 5'10".
Would you like to hear the statistics?
Yes.
Okay, so that was okay, I don't know why I'm bookmarking something. Okay, so Caleb Williams is 6'1", 215 pounds. Okay?
Yep.
How tall do you think J.J. McCarthy is?
6'4".
J.J. McCarthy is 6'3", 202 pounds.
It's a big boy.
How tall do you think Jaden Daniels is?
5'10", 5'11".
Jaden Daniels is 6'4", 210.
What?
Jaden Daniels is 6'4".
He's not 210. He's maybe 180, like soaking wet. That's a false reported number. They're gonna always inflate their weight so they don't look that small. But to hear that he's 6'4" makes me like him way more now.
That's what I'm saying because he looked small on screen, but he's 6'4". He's taller than Caleb Williams. 3 inches.
I love that. I think, hey, listen, I think I'm coming from Buffalo, and you can say what you want about Josh Allen, but like the fact that he's big has saved our fucking asses. I think you need to be big, especially when you play in the NFC, or sorry, especially when you play in the AFC in the colder weather. Like he's in Buffalo, it's cold as shit. You need a big quarterback with a big fucking arm. I think Jaden Daniels meets all the fucking prerequisites I want for a quarterback. He also knows how to fucking win. There were seasons in Arizona State where he had Herm Edwards as a coach, who's a fucking horrible coach, but he's dragging that shitty team to a 7-5, 8-4. He's a good fucking quarterback. McCarthy doesn't have it, and I had no idea that he was 6'4". Listen, if I'm an NFL team, I'm gonna fucking take him over Caleb Williams. I just think that's the best way to do it there.
I agree. I did not think he was that tall based on how he looked.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna look at this right here. So this is let me change our dynamic real quick. Let me move these. So this is so Jason Kelsey just retired from the NFL. We're gonna get into a little recap of how what they're talking about, because I saw some of it on the TV when I was at a restaurant earlier. So I want to see what they had to say.
Yeah, you know what's a better clip? The Pat McAfee clip of this is probably a little bit shorter and more concise than this fucking 9-minute video that you pulled up.
See what we got.
We need a fucking video producer. Let's fucking somebody turn in a fucking application. We need you guys bad.
All right, hold on. You got me fucked up. I was gonna watch like 3 seconds of it. Be like, oh yeah, he's fucking, he's out, he's done.
Just type in Pat McAfee, fucking Jason Kelsey retirement. It'll pop up. It'll be easy. Yeah, watch that. I bet that's quick. Look at him go. Sad man.
There goes my hero.
My hero.
Watch him as he goes. Trav's wearing glasses like it's a funeral.
I fucking hate Travis Kelce so much, dude.
But he got a ring in millions, bro. He's literally crying like it's a funeral. I feel for you, bro, but I get it.
Listen, Jason Kelsey had a lot of good shit to say. Like I said, pull up that Pat McAfee clip. Let's give him his fucking just desserts. This is one of the best offensive linemen to ever play the fucking game. And he's doing it for all the chubby guys. So give it up to him. He's out there, sexiest man in the world. Got the beard looking fresh. Barely got hair on top. Jason, I feel you. My hair went on me too, but we still got the beard follicle growth of kings. I would have loved to have him in Buffalo. I think he's one of the best centers to ever play. 13 seasons in the NFL, that's a big fucking career. I hate your brother so much. You're just so much cooler. So much goddamn cooler.
Good for him. Honestly, he needed to be the cool brother out of all of them. I hate StreamYard so much. I'm on StreamYard.
I am brought back to this day.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Jason. Oh, jeez, that's tough.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Dude,
I need
it's
to prepare
fucking
myself for this.
Yeah, go ahead. This is tough, man.
Woo! Okay. Damn, he's
beat up.
Okay. All right.
I am brought back to this day.
Damn.
I am brought back to this day. 12 years old. Roxborough Middle School, first day in pads. I've been asked many times, why did I choose football? What drew me to the game? And I never have an answer that gets it right. The best way I can explain it is what draws you to your favorite song, your favorite book. It's what it makes you feel. The seriousness of it, the intensity of it. Stepping on the field was the most alive and free I had ever felt. There was a visceral feeling with football unlike any other sport. The hairs on my arms would stand up. The hairs on my arms would stand up. I could hit somebody, run around like a crazed lunatic, and then get told, good job. I love football. Whether it was in my backyard with my brother, on the playground with my friends, or shooting up on Friday nights at Cleveland Heights High School. I loved everything about it. Although I hadn't met him yet, Jeff Stoutland often shares a quote his father would tell him.
You're like, it'll probably be shorter. It's 29 minutes. This is the Pat McAfee one.
Yeah, it's supposed to be shorter. I saw it on TikTok. Way easier. But yeah, you get it. Fucking, that's 4 minutes. That's too long.
Yeah,
just fucking.
I just
We
wanna see-
have
I
some
just
breaking
wanna see
news
some of this,
out of a press conference that maybe hasn't even started yet. Okay, so Adam Schefter at least got the script, I guess, from Jason Kelsey's press conference that was scheduled to start 8 minutes ago.
Icon.
Jason Kelsey is retiring from the NFL, and we'd like to say, hey, Jason, way to go, bud. What a run. What an absolutely legendary career. A lot of people, even centers and everybody, has him down as the greatest center to ever play football. People would nitpick because of the style in which he played, but nonetheless, he's on the Mount
Pat
Rushmore of
McAfee's so much
centers
better than Dan
in
Patrick.
everybody's conversation, and now everybody's getting to learn about him as a human, him as a family man, him as a dad, him as a husband. He's an Ohio guy who is one of the perfect representations of our sport to the world that is being welcomed into the NFL via the New Heights podcast and his brother's relationship with the biggest superstar on earth and Taylor Swift. We would all like to say from this particular program, you done damn good, Jason Kelsey, and we can't wait for the next chapter and what he does because the world is literally sitting at his fingertips. Whatever he wants to do is possible, and I can't wait to watch AJ Hawk.
Yeah, selfishly.
Okay, AJ Hawk, we're good.
That's solid. Yeah, we're good on AJ Hawk. Great haircut, AJ. So you gotta love this dude. He's just a classic football player. He's an old school fucking guy. Again, would have loved to see him in a Buffalo Bills uniform at one point. Yeah, good job, buddy. That was good shit.
Damn, I mean, fucking about time that fucking a center in fucking Philadelphia who's sitting behind him was gonna be like, I can actually get some playing time. It's been 13 years.
If it's gonna be rough in Philly, buddy, they better get a good fucking center to replace that motherfucker because it's gonna be rough for Jalen Hurts after this, buddy. That guy. If you watch all 22s of that motherfucker, he kept that shit together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jason. Yeah. Character, and you just dude. Now Jalen Hurts doesn't have to squat every time he gets snapped the ball because it's not coming out 50 miles an hour. But shout out to him to a legendary career. Good dude, and now he can just do podcasting full time.
That's it.
Just like us. There you go.
Just like us, baby. We're the same now. Thanks, Jason. Welcome to the club.
I'm curious. What do you think if you had to rank it? You can do one from each major sport. What are your top 5 rivalries in sports?
Fuck you for that question. Celtics Lakers up there. Used to be the Yankees Red Sox, and then baseball was just decided that it's going to be the most boring thing on the planet. Comes to football, feel like Chiefs Raiders is a solid one. I don't know, man. I feel like it's tough. I feel like that's really tough.
What's one of your favorites? One of your favorites to watch? Like, these two teams are going at it. I got to sit down and watch.
Oh man. As of the last couple of years, it's been the Chiefs Raiders because the Raiders usually get the best of the Chiefs or give them a really fucking good game.
Yep.
But that's really all that comes to mind. Everything else has kind of gone by the wayside for me. But as a kid, like growing up, it was the Yankees and the Red Sox because every game fucking mattered, no matter if it was a fucking regular season game or not. It just fucking mattered, man. I feel like if you're a Penguins fan, I feel like you would equate it to the games against Philadelphia.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? That's a big fucking rivalry. I love that rivalry too. Like Steelers, Ravens, another big one that you love to fucking see. Smash Mouth fucking football. Both play the game kind of similarly, both similar cities, backgrounds, steel, rust.
I love watching Packers Lions too.
Yeah, Packers Lions is another good one. Packers Bears is another good one. There's
Cowboys,
a lot.
Giants.
Cowboys Giants is another solid one. I feel like there's a lot of good. Giants and Patriots is another favorite one of mine. Love the fact that the Patriots can never beat the fucking Giants. It's one of my favorite things ever. Buffalo did not have the same luck, so I appreciate that for the Giants. At least one New York team fucking could give the Patriots
put a stop to it. They put a stop to the 16-0 season.
You guys, you saved the rest of the world. You say, you know what? All the shit said about Eli Manning, he beat two of the best Patriots teams of all fucking time in the game that fucking mattered. And you could shit on them all you want. That fucking dude stepped up to every occasion.
That's the only reason why when we talk about late game drives, I call them Eli Manning-esque drives, because like being a young kid and watching him really with like the clock on his back, like march downfield both times against such a great team. And obviously a lot of good shit had to happen. Mario Manningham, David Tyree, those 2 Super Bowls. But it was, I don't know. It just, I never felt scared watching him trot downfield late in the game. And it was a great feeling. And like, that's what I would equate to, like, I don't know, watching Mahomes in that overtime, like as much as I don't fucking like the dude, it was special to watch. You know, once all the hate leaves your system, now that the playoffs are over, like it's amazing to be able to watch generational talents do their thing. And it's weird coming down to, so like I've lived through, this will be my first generation of superstars that I will see living through. And it's a weird feeling. Can I ask you a question, being a little bit older than me? What was like your prime generation of athletes that you like lived through their retirement in? Because you're not much older than me, but like, yeah, you probably like Kobe's a little bit more.
Kobe was a big one. Derek Jeter was a big fucking one. That was probably the biggest one in my life, really. I watched a lot of series in the playoffs that Derek Jeter saved the Yankees' asses. Mariano Rivera, another big one. I love the fucking Sandman. He was best closer ever to play the game. I feel like those are the ones that really stand out for me, only because they were a big part of my childhood. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, so I have never, other than Eli Manning and like Brandon Jacobs, like seen my favorites retire. So I'm coming up here really close to a time where, you know, I grew up with like my first hockey game being Sidney Crosby's first hockey game.
Yeah.
And I'm moving into an era now where like within 3 years, he's going to retire.
Yep.
Maybe sooner, maybe later. And I don't know if I'm just a fanboy.
I hope to God we're still doing Degen Fantasy when that rolls around, because I just want to watch you cry as Sidney Crosby just fucking retires. That's all I want in the world, buddy.
It's gonna be, Dan, it's gonna be tough, because you want to know what it's gonna be like on stream.
Yeah.
If you're thinking
listen.
You just
no, listen. When that day comes and I have to watch Sid retire, and I have to come on stream, it's probably it's most likely gonna look a little something like
just
this.
that first opening
back to this day.
One more time, replay it one more time. Just give me one more. Dude. Give me one more time.
I am brought back to this day.
Okay, I feel bad because we're laughing at that fucking note.
No, but dude, that's gonna be me
until Chef Rocky's cooking in the kitchen and the cameras come in and they got him fucking Cam Op is fucking right on him, and he's like, "I'm brought back to this day." I was just a young pup.
It's gonna suck, dude.
Sidney Crosby.
Question for you. So if you had one of those favorite players retire on you, did the sport feel different watching it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think baseball lost a lot of its luster after that. And it hasn't been the same for me since. I think I could probably say like the same thing. I feel like Josh Allen is going to end up a Bill for the rest of his life. Mm-hmm. And when he retires, because I have so much love for like everything, like beyond all the shit that I talk about the Bills, like when we got him, it took us from bottom barrel shit franchise to some a franchise that actually is seen in the competition as a contender for a Super Bowl. Even if, nobody really believes it, we're still in the conversation every year. And that's much better than not being in the fucking conversation. I don't care what anyone says. The fact that we are in the conversation is all due to the fact that dude came into the league as like an underdog, came into the league with only one scholarship offer out of high school, and that was to Wyoming. And nobody expected the kid to end up the way he was, but he came in and he worked his fucking dick off, and now he is who he is. I mean, if you would say to me 10 years ago, Buffalo in 10 years is going to have top 5 best quarterback in the fucking league, I would have told you you're crazy. yeah, when he retires, it's going to be a tough pill to swallow. I would assume.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough spot. So I mean, it's I don't know. Like, luckily,
I
you
mean,
got a
we're
long time
coming.
for Josh, but
Yeah, we're coming. Listen, we're coming to the end of a lot of eras. I mean, we saw Tom Brady retire. I mean, from the time I was little to the time I am now, like he was a fixture in the NFL. Like you had to worry about him every week. We saw Kobe retire. That was a big one. But we're gonna see like some of the best players to ever play the fucking games that they played retire in the next couple of years, and it's gonna suck, dude. It's
yeah.
gonna fucking suck. It really is. Like, after Sid goes, the Pittsburgh
Sid and
Penguins
Ovi.
dynamic is. That's what I'm saying. After they go, the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Washington Capitals fans, it's gonna be a fucking big thing to replace those fucking players. I mean, when you guys got Sid, you were like bottom of the fucking barrel teams.
Yeah.
And he fucking brought you to what, three cups? 3 or 4?
3 cups, saved the franchise. They were gonna
Saved the
go to
fucking
fucking.
franchise.
They were gonna go to fucking some other country, not country, some other state. And
Yep.
I don't know, dude. It's gonna be so. I don't know them without him. And even though I started watching when he was drafted, it's like I was so young. That was like my first experience. I watched games before he got drafted, but I was little. But I don't know. It's gonna be weird. And dude, we traded away so many draft picks, Dan.
Yeah, and not
So
only
many
that, on
draft
top of it,
picks.
like we're coming to what I would say is the second best basketball player of all time. LeBron is going to retire in the next couple of years.
Honestly, I wouldn't be. So when Bronny's draft eligible as of
He's draft eligible now. Yeah, right now. Yeah,
and he probably is not going to.
I don't think he's. I don't think
for
he's
another 2 years.
I don't think not maybe a year. I would say, but he's going to wait to play with his son. I would assume.
Yes, that's what I think is going to happen.
And then he's going to retire after that. But we're coming to the end of a fucking era, dude. It's crazy.
You trying to make me cry, Dan?
Yeah, I'm crying right now.
Dude, no, it's like, I'm not trying to get too off on the topic, but dude, then you hand off the league to younger players, and you got you got Giannis and Luka and Wembanyama, but like, I don't know if like it's because I'm newer now or I'm older now or they're marketing the game differently, but I don't know if it feels different. Like LeBron came in like, holy shit. And I feel like they just put a lot of emphasis on Wembanyama because he's also like that freak of nature type build, but also like it just feels like they want him to be that. But like LeBron came in like a fucking like shot out of a rocket.
I mean, he came into the league when he was 18, and it was unbelievable, the shit that he was doing out of high school to grown men. I mean, made them look like they were fucking ancient, like good fucking players. It's just crazy, but like it shows you like Michael Jordan had just retired, and 2 years later, or a year later, or whatever the fuck, you got the second best player of all time that comes into it. So you don't even know when the fucking changing of the guard really happens, and then it fucking happens. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
All right. To wrap up the show, we're going to get real ESPN on you guys because we've never talked about this. And I don't think I've ever talked about this with anyone, with truly anyone other than the inner monologue in my head. And I don't think I've ever really heard myself talk about it because I want to find out both of our standpoints, including my own, of legitimately who is the best of all time between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. And I will say one thing that always aggravates me is that I will do it differently than they do it on ESPN. Kobe Bryant does not get enough love. RIP to Kobe. I think his game was very similar to MJ's. And I feel like that's why a lot of people snub him, but also at the same time, like they want the viewership in the NBA now. They want you to feel like, yo, you're missing the best show on earth with LeBron James. So maybe we can add in to Kobe, like why he's not in that top one. I don't want to hear like I like much respect to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bill Russell, but like based on
they played when the NBA was mostly
nothing.
Anyways.
Yeah, that's and listen. I also feel like the same way about Wayne Gretzky. Respect to Wayne. I think Mario Lemieux is the greatest NHL player of all time. I may be biased because I'm a Penguins fan, but
definitely
the amount
biased.
of numbers. No, but it's biased. But if you look at the stats and you look at his projections based on him having Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is cancer, terrible injury trouble, back problems, like his pace, and even Gretzky said that Lemieux's better than him. But I'll digress. That's a different topic for a different day. LeBron or Jordan, and why?
So I side with Jordan. I wasn't really like coherent enough in the 90s. I was a young kid, so didn't really like register watching Jordan really until like the early 2000s, and that was like towards the end of his career. But it's just, for me, the difference is competition. Jordan stayed the majority of his career with one team, never really went outside that to like, recruit other superstars. Like they got lucky with Pippen, they got lucky with Rodman, and they built their own homegrown shit. The best I can equate it to is like Oklahoma City when they had Durant, Westbrook, and Harden on the same fucking team. Like,
Yeah,
it had the same feeling. Like, but the competition is just different. Like the competitiveness. Like if Jordan was in an all-star game, like people were hooping, like they were playing. Like Jordan wasn't fucking letting them sit back and do fucking nothing. Like he wouldn't allow that shit. Like Jordan wanted to win every competition and crush every opponent he had. And I think Kobe had the same fucking dog in him. That's what I would say. Like Kobe had that Michael Jordan fucking dog in him. I think Kobe's top 5 of all time. There were times when I'd watch a game and you're playing fucking Kobe and you just know the dude's going to get fucking 35 points and you really can't do anything about it. Like there's no way you can stop him. So I definitely think he's top 5, but when it comes down to it, LeBron's been in the league since he's 18. I don't know if he's 36, 39 right now.
39.
But, are you sure?
Positive.
Look that up. I know.
Dan, I know it. I know it's 39.
If he's 39, he came in the league when
How
he was
old is LeBron James?
I can't
Come
see
on.
it. I can't see it. 39. Okay. So you're looking at, and if you look up career stats, you're looking up a dude that's averaged 27, 6, and 6 for his entire career. That's 21 fucking years. Like just the fucking like the scope. Like he came in with Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, all those fucking guys that are already retired, and this guy's still fucking scoring over 25 points a game and turning on whenever the fuck dude still carrying a fucking team. Like that has to matter for something. That has to mean something. He's won titles, but he just did it in a way that like is kind of gross. I know that sounds fucked up, but like to go to Miami and be like, hey, D Wade and Chris Bosh, 2 of the best players at that time, let's come together. I just don't think fucking Michael Jordan would have ever done that.
D Wade already had a ring.
Another thing, I just don't think Michael Jordan would have ever done that. He came back to Cleveland, won with Kyrie, and I appreciate that. That was one of the best series that a fucking player has ever fucking played.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I really think it's not even close. I just think Jordan is the much better player.
Yeah. I'm younger than you and have a different like watching span of the NBA. I was alive for Jordan's playing career probably for what year did he retire?
I want to say 2002 or 3, but I'm not sure.
Somewhere near there, because AI was, he got drafted before like late 90s, early 2000s.
99 or 2000.
99. So I don't know. So watching, obviously, I've only seen Jordan through highlights.
Jordan retired in 2003.
Yeah, so only watching Jordan through highlights, and obviously, like I really, really was not watching the NBA. I was watching NHL in 03, and I was born in 98. To give you some perspective, so I must have been like 3 or 4. And I don't know, watching LeBron, and I'm not like the one thing that gives me pause is because like I'll say that they both impact the game on such a massive level that they impact the league and the balance of the league. And I do think that what you were saying about LeBron moving to different teams and you said it felt dirty. It's kind of the same thing you do. It's kind of the same conversation you have when you talk about like a thought, like a hoe.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it feels dirty. And it was just like a different kind of league. And I feel like, with respect to LeBron and nodding to him, like, I don't think everyone's like, oh, he started the super teams. I think the Celtics at that time were a super team. They had KG, they had Paul Pierce, and like you can't say they drafted all of them because KG was drafted by the Timberwolves. And so he kind of like, you go to Miami and you're playing with 2 generational talents along with you. And, he didn't clean sweep the entire league like everyone thought it was. It took some losses. It took some finals losses. Shout out to Dirk and fucking Jason Kidd.
I don't think Dirk would have taken Michael Jordan out. I just don't think Dirk would have beat Michael Jordan.
Listen, Jordan he had, like, as much as people want to gloss over, for some reason, like, Mike was so, like, sucked off respect to Mike that, like, you know, he had playoff losses, he had late game crumbles, he had times where he couldn't, you know, he missed the game winner, and that's life.
Yeah.
But dude, 40,000 points, 40,000. Michael Jordan played into 03, and he also, dude, like think about, like, as an athlete, like how, like, the comparison of how Michael Jordan and LeBron James took care of themselves. And what do you think about it? You think of MJ with the gambling and the late nights, and he's like, oh, it's not a problem unless you really think it gets out of hand. And if I'm doing this and doing that, like, LeBron James basically was on, I don't know if he's on juice or whatever the case it is, but he's 39 years old, still jumping out the gym. That's a different conversation for a different day. I don't know if that affects it or not. There's no way we'll
He's
ever
definitely
know.
on juice.
I'd have to agree. Because also think about it. Like,
It's
if you're
a
the
fact.
league and LeBron James on juice, your best player gets claused for using PEDs, which is performance enhancing drugs. If you're Adam Silver, you're going to be like, no, I'm not going to say a single thing, even if I know about it or if I
Because it
don't
takes
know
away a
about
lot.
it.
From the
It
legacy, it takes away a lot.
It takes away a
But
lot from the league.
But again, and it's been proven that he spends $1 million on his body every year.
Yep.
He takes care of his body like no one else ever has. And I don't think that should take away. Like, he's done things on the court that should be respected and loved. There was a recent report that came out about LeBron actually, like, being outed as being on PEDs. It was really shoved under the rug, glossed over by everybody. Nobody will ever really, I bet ESPN won't pick it up, but it did come out recently. But yeah, no, there's no doubt in my mind that a 39-year-old he's on EPO or something. Like, he's doing something to keep him right. Like,
the wear and tear of the league.
Like, wait, that's again what you can say. He doesn't have an injury history, really, and that's fucking crazy. Like, that is crazy in itself. And I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible without PEDs. I don't think he doesn't take PEDs, but I don't think that should really take away from one of the best careers of all time. You know, he's number 2 on the list for me. I think that's where he stays. And I think it's just as fucking awesome to be number 2 on the list than it is number 1. I don't think we'll see a player like, I thought Kevin Durant had a shot to be considered better, but he again did the same pussy thing and went to fucking Golden State. You can't go to Golden State after they beat. That's so shit.
And the one thing I hated about KD going to Golden State was, like, you talk about, like, he said, if OKC, if Russ and KD and Harden all stayed together, like, Golden State was one of the only good homegrown teams.
Yeah,
Curry, Steph,
Clay, Draymond. They fucking drafted well.
And
they
he
traded
just
well.
comes
they
in
picked up the right free agents. Like, that, again, that's why I'll always look at Steph Curry more favorably than I'll look at LeBron. I just will. I love Steph. I will always ride for Steph, even when I hated the Warriors.
The Warriors, yeah. The question for you. So with the whole PED thing, if it's even a thing or not, would you be mad about PEDs in the league if that meant you got 5 more years of, like, this level LeBron style Michael Jordan play?
No, I'm a firm believer that we should not
ban PEDs.
Limit. No, I just don't think we should limit the human body. I mean, I feel like, I know this is gonna be an unfavorable fucking opinion, but, like, I feel like baseball was way better with steroids. I just listen, like, I want to see somebody launch 75 home runs. Like, I just do. I don't give a fuck. Like, you still got to hit the fucking ball. That's what people don't understand. Like, even if you're doing, like, I could take all the steroids in the world, I'm not going to hit 75 home runs. Like, I'm just not. Like, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to J like probably 63s in a row because I have a sick stroke, and that's fine. But, like, listen, I'm not going to go out there, put a batting helmet on, and fucking hit 75 home runs. I just think, like, you got to have skill before you can fucking use the PEDs to your advantage. But, yeah, I think they're fucking sports. It's a fucking game. Let them fucking juice. Like, if you got to heal up at the end of a hard fucking season, the best way to do that is HGH and a little bit of testosterone therapy to get your body right. Like, that's just the best way to do it.
Yeah, and it's
I don't know.
It's scrutinized because it's something that's and it's shit that's formed in your body. Just because you want to add a little bit more, it shouldn't be scrutinized. But whatever the case may be, we live in a soft generation where even the words that come out of our mouths are scrutinized. So let alone like anything you put in your body, people are going to freak out over. But dude, if LeBron's on HGH or PEDs and it's giving us 3 more years of LeBron fucking dropping 20 points in the fourth quarter of a game, that's fucking incredible. Like I don't care. I
agree.
As long as the dude's not going to have a stroke in a year, I don't care. Like if he's healthy and he's going to live a nice long life, and dude, also just touching on this briefly, like Kobe's passing was the oddest sports situation I've ever witnessed in my 25 years on Earth, and like what a shame. And there's nothing to compare it to. Like no one, like you think LeBron's gonna retire and have a lengthy retirement. You might see him on Ellen or some shit in the future, but like it's for Kobe to go the way he did and how dramatic it was. And I remember where I was when it happened. I was in fucking a driving school class because I got my license late because I was scared of driving. And they're showing me all these videos of like horrific car accidents, like don't text and drive. I get the notification on my phone about a helicopter crash with Kobe involved, and it was tough. It was tough. See, I mean, regardless of if the dude's like in the league, out of the league, on PEDs, it's been a pleasure to watch him play basketball as a fan of his or not. And I love his shoes.
I agree. Yeah. Great fucking shoes. That's the best way to fucking, end that segment. But no, I don't think we should fucking limit what people can accomplish with just the fact that you still have to be a really good player for PEDs to fucking matter. Like you can be a shitty player and be okay with PEDs, but you can't be LeBron James or Michael Jordan with, you know what I mean? You just can't. Not everybody can achieve that greatness. Not everybody has the drive to get there. There are people with the potential, but it doesn't matter unless you put that potential into unless you work that potential to get to
an exact example. Look at Giannis Antetokounmpo, how rail skinny he was. They're like, he worked out in the offseason and ate a lot. Shut the fuck up. He's on PEDs. And also, guess what? He's a little bit taller than LeBron, I think. And he's not LeBron James. PEDs or not. Great player. Look at his game. He's nowhere close to LeBron's game, IQ-wise, shooting-wise.
But when LeBron got stopped, he went into the offseason like Michael Jordan and worked on that. And then you had to figure out another way to stop him. You can stop on Antetokounmpo. You could stop him. Like you can. You could stop Giannis. You can. You just fucking let him shoot threes. Build a wall and let him shoot threes. Good luck, buddy. You ain't gonna fucking do anything. You just don't see that same thing with LeBron. You could stop LeBron threes in the beginning, and now he shoots threes better than most people shoot threes.
Yeah, he followed the.
That's what makes him great.
But let me give you this, okay? To end the segment, with LeBron. Am I? Hold on. Am I muted?
Are you good?
Okay. To end this off, I'm sorry about that. To end this off real quick, to speak on if LeBron scoring 40,000 points doesn't make him the best player of all time, then I want to say that does not mean that Wayne Gretzky is the best player of all time because he has 2,000 career points playing against a bunch of old dudes and goalies that didn't go down on their knees and play how goalies play today. Dude, if I played in the NHL, Dan, currently right now at 25 in the 1980s, other than probably breaking a couple bones because they would have beat the fucking shit out of me, I'd be putting up Wayne Gretzky numbers. It's that let's say 70s. That era of hockey is maybe not Gretzky numbers, but like terrible. Do you want to watch for 2 seconds 1970s hockey real quick?
No, I definitely don't. I want no part of 1970s hockey. I don't even, I can't really watch it. That's another thing. Before we end this, before you go fucking wild over there,
you're good.
You're a hockey expert. That's what I would say. I think you're a hockey expert. So I'm gonna throw you up something right now, and it's gonna be a little self-serving for me, but like, if you're the GM of the Buffalo Sabres, how do you make the Buffalo Sabres a Stanley Cup contending team?
I'm not going to lie. I haven't watched a lot of Sabres hockey this year. Let me just look up their roster really quick.
Tage took a fucking dive this year. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Tage Thompson, but he came way back down to earth this year.
Did he?
Yeah.
Right,
oh, yeah. He's horrible this year.
Yes. I mean, Tage is he bounced around from team to team, And I just typed in Sabres Rocky roster. All right, so let me see. Zach Benson, Dylan Cousins.
Save my franchise. What do you do?
All right, so I'm gonna type in their lines real quick because that's a better way to map it out, and then I'm gonna just display it. Okay. Let me share this real quick. Add to stage, and I'm gonna share this tab instead.
All right, now do me a favor. Hold on. After you look at this, I want you to fucking make this as TikTok ready as you possibly can. This is how I would save the Buffalo Sabres. So look at this information in front of you and hit me with the TikTok, baby.
Let me see what they got in that real quick. Pekka Linkinen. All right, you ready?
Yep.
So this is how I would save the Buffalo Sabres from being an under 500 team every year for the next few years, and how I can get them to a Stanley Cup final. Basically, looking at their lineup, you got great players like Tage Thompson that are kind of in a slump right now, and they're just lacking a lot of depth and a lot of players that still are trying to prove themselves, and there's not really any cohesive unit. You got your best player as your number one starting centerman, and there's not really much around him with Alex Tuck. That's a nice piece. Jeff Skinner's a nice piece. He's a little bit older, and Kyle Post is a little bit older. But basically, all their draft stock has gone in there into their defensemen, being Rasmus Dahlin, Owen Power. So one thing I would mainly do is I would take Owen Power because he's solid. He was a high pick. I think he went in the top 5. I would keep Dahlin, and I would take Owen Power and trade for a number 2 centerman. You need somebody better than Casey Middlestad. And if you have to package Owen Power and Middlestad to get that second number 1 center, you do that, because you look at teams that have done well, McDavid and Draisaitl, Crosby and Malkin. You look at how they had Kuznetsov and fucking Ovechkin, Landeskog and McKinnon. Like, you need that 1-2 punch of depth, so you have a great offensive structure, and then build out your third line to be your grinding line, and outside of that, fill it with speed. Jeff Skinner is a good fast player. He's probably a little bit too slow, and probably all this team has is speed because they're young, but you never really know. You got to check out their games. So a strong second line centerman, like a great player, a grinding third line. The rest of the team has to be speed. You fill out defensemen with free agency and trades, whatever the case may be. And then the number one thing you need on top of it is just you need a solid starting goalie. You got Yuko Pekka-Lehkonen, who's a decent goalie, younger, earning his stripes. I'd check out who they have over in Winnipeg. What the fuck is his name? I forget his fucking name. He's on free agency this year, and they're looking to trade him. Forget his name. You need a good starting goaltender. You need a second line center that's a fucking superstar. You need a grinding third line in general, and then you need speed around you. That's how you win a Stanley Cup.
Bam, cut. All right, now that's our clip for fucking TikTok. But what I want to say here, and just to throw this little wrench in here, is Tage Thompson a number 1 center? Like, why not get a number 1 center and move Tage down to the second line? He's going to be way more effective in a second line role, is he not?
I mean, he just put up 92 points last year. By the way, Connor Hellebuck is the goalie I was talking about. If you guys get him in free agency and you can get some pieces, you're in a great spot. He's a Vezina winning goaltender. He's like 6'7".
Yeah, we need a goaltender. We need a good, solid starting goaltender
to steal you games.
Yeah, Luukkonen, he needs to be a backup. That's all he. Yeah. That's what he is, and that's fine. But I feel like you move Tage down to the second line. Move Middlestat down to where Cousins is. Put Cousins over Krebs. Get Krebs the fuck out of there. Mm-hmm. Horrible trade. To get the fucking bullshit they got for Jack Eichel was just ridiculous. Okay, listen. Let's say you shift 1, 2, and 3 down, and then you give me a really good first line center that is a possibility for the Sabres.
Depending on what you're trading, it depends on what team you're looking at. I want to look at free agents for the off season coming up. I mean, you can target a couple teams that just haven't panned out. Honestly, I would look at Arizona and try to steal one of their young cats. But you need someone like hold on, let me look at NHL free agents 2024. Because I want to see who's possibly coming on the free agent pool, because that would affect who you're trading for.
Yeah.
Because you got salary cap. So here's an example. Hold on. Let me scare this instead. Share this tab instead. Agree. Okay. Can you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can.
You got Stamkos. I think Stamkos, he's a little bit older. He's 34. I would take Stamkos in a heartbeat. Gensel's a good winger. If you can get Stamkos and Gensel, yeah, you had Reinhardt and you had Tyler Myers.
Yeah, I can't believe he's still in the league.
I would take Eberle. I would take Marchessault.
Boom. So you put Marchessault on the first line in Buffalo, or you put Eberle, or you put fucking Stamkos on the first line in Buffalo. I think you definitely have a playoff team at least, right?
You can get Fleury in free agency out of Minnesota.
We need something. Buddy.
Anthony Duclair. Yeah, so I would scoop up Duclair, put him on your third line, and be like, yo, you're going to grind. I would take Tyler Johnson from Chicago. That's what I'm doing. Tyler Johnson from Chicago. Pull him in. That's your second line center. Or actually, your third line center for a grinding team. You get Marchessault on the wing with Tage, and then you bring in one more center like Steven Stamkos. You have Stamkos up the middle. Moves Tage to the second line. So you have Stamkos, Skinner, and Okposo. Then you got Tage, you get fucking Marchessault and someone else, and then you grind out Duclair in a third fucking line, and then you get a goalie, and you're solid. You make a couple trades. I know they got draft picks.
Buffalo has fucking draft picks, but they also have salary cap. Like, we have salary.
Oh, dude, you guys got cap space for days. Like, look at this. Like 6 shots on goal for Zach Benson. He's got fucking 13 minutes a game. Like, why even roster him 9 minutes a game? Like he's not even getting penalty kill time. Basically looking at free agency, and you just try to pull some people in with money and then trade for some prospects. But that's how you'd fix the Buffalo Sabres. And if you're asking me how to fix the Penguins, I don't know.
Well, and here's the thing. Here's what we're going to do. I just made the fucking executive decision right now. We're going to take some non-playoff NHL teams. We're going to do some nice little clips. You're going to tell me how to fucking save them. I feel like that's the way to go.
Okay. Penguins are a non-NHL team. I'm not a playoff team right now. I'll tell you how to save them. Just get a new coach. We're riding the same coach for too long. It's not working. Our power play is the worst in the league, and we have superstars. Get rid of them.
Sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes
it's all it takes. I'm telling you, it's all it takes.
You just need a different fucking head coach.
You got us 2 cups, bro. Appreciate you flying the fuck out.
Yeah,
flying the fuck out.
Done.
All right, boys. So we're going to wrap that up today. Hopefully you've been tailing and locking down your picks. Maybe we could do a little recap on IG later if you guys want to follow. It is at Degen Fantasy Premium on TikTok. Check us out. Killing it. We're about to be doing card pull boxes on there at Degen Fantasy on TikTok. And other than that, I have to, we're talking about sports. I got to go I got a playoff game for my hockey team tonight, so I'm going to go get into it.
Yeah, buddy.
Jiggy.
So, all right, I got the over 8 on shots, so make sure you fucking make me proud.
Listen,
right?
I'm taking short shifts and I'm going balls to the wall. I'm not going home.
Baby. Goddamn right, baby.
We haven't had a game in 2 weeks, and our league owner tried to have us do a back-to-back game for Monday for the playoff game and then the championship on Tuesday. And I told him, suck me. So thanks. I literally said, bro, you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, so, fuck you, motherfucker. All right.
So this has been Degen Fantasy. Check us out on Thursday. We will be streaming. Got some dope picks for everybody and all that good jazz. So, later.